this year we were able to up our attendance and get more funding on supporting DataHacks. So we really appreciate everyone who came out here today, and yeah, we appreciate your continued support for next year as we try to get more funding for DataHacks 2026. Yeah, please can you take a seat if you are a participant? Thank you. Okay. Alright, so I just want to say thank you to our judges there's still some of us judges here today. Thank you to all judges who are able to judge. It is a lot of time to dedicate to. And this is one of the co-directors of DataHacks, and I'm Jennifer, the other co-director, and we just want to thank our amazing subcom team and everyone at DS3 for helping out today, or like throughout the past few quarters. We couldn't have done this without any of you guys. So give them a round of applause. Alright, so we're going to start with the raffle, and we have Datasaur here today to for the raffle. So we have desk mats, I believe, as our raffle prize. These are like, what are they?
Caro Studio Space Peak desk mats.
Nice. So Datasaur here is gonna pick out 4 winners. So if you attended any of the workshops, if you went to the mentorship hours, you should have put your name in for your raffle. So if you can get those out, just check. And we will announce which of the lucky 4 people have won a desk mat.
Right, first winner. 5355625.
Anyone here? We don't have a lot of people here, so we have to go through a lot of raffles.
Alright.
Next one.
Next one, 5355628.
Anyone here? Alright, guess what? These. Dang, we have lots of desk mats. Alright, next, we're gonna try this again. If not, this is going to us.
I'm just gonna read the last 3 digits. 576.
No one here? No one? 576? Oh, no? Okay. Wait, 576 in the back? Come up here. Alright, we're just gonna pick a couple more. We have like 3 more. You know, Datasaur, take it away.
Okay. Last 3 digits. 609.
I need 609s out here. Raffle winner.
Last 3 digits. 548.
Okay, what? 548? Come on! Okay, we're gonna try this one more time, seeing as there's not many people. Last raffle chance.
Last 3 digits. 551.
Anyone got 551? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Okay. Okay, so wants to try one more. Okay, Horowitt, one more from Datasaur.
Last one. 543. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on stage.
like.
Alright, so, dang, there's a lot of people missing on their desktops. But, welcome to our 3 winners. If you guys want to stand in the middle, next to data store, we have 3 desktops for you guys. Come on to the center so we can take a photo. Thank you.
Oh, it's on video.
And next we have a dino game, which the winning prize will be Smiskies.
Yeah. All right, let me pull up the Dino Game winners, top 3. So in 3rd place, just check. In 3rd place, we have Min Tran. Is Min Tran here?
He's not here.
He's not here. Okay, can one of your teammates come up? Okay, awesome. Right, in 2nd place, we have Nolan Chu. Okay, come on. And in 1st place, their score was, let's see, 39,965. We have Justin Tran. Is Justin Tran here? Okay.
We knew we had professionals among our midst.
All right. Okay. All right. Congratulations to the Dino Game winners. All right. Now introducing our keynote speaker, innovation ecosystem architect, venture capitalist, serial entrepreneur, and author, Greg Horowitt.
Probably the last thing you want to do this late at night is listen to someone speak and drone on, so keep it short. Because I'm sure this thing's going to keep cutting in and out, so you can let me know if you need to replace it. Is this working okay? Yeah. It seems to be going in and out. So okay, if not, I'm bad with really loud voice. So I'm Greg Horowitt, I'm the Director of Innovation here at UCSD. Yeah, it's dying. Here we go. We'll see if that one, oh yeah, that works better. I have a very loud voice, so it projects quite well on its own. But I'm the Director of Innovation here at UCSD. How many of you have been over to our building, the Design and Innovation building? Excellent, I'm so happy about that. Hopefully more of you will kind of get over there and spend time with us over there. And I don't know if you've been interacting with Jacques here today, but we exist to make entrepreneurship available to everyone here in the UCSD community. Primarily to students, but we also do it for faculty, staff, or anybody who wants to do it. We even work very closely with the community to bring them in. So we're there to encourage you to kind of try to start something, to kind of help you, or to join a team for people who want to do it. My background was that I did not start off as an entrepreneur. I worked in operations and finance for a big multinational Fortune 100 company. And then eventually I got bored, and then I went into doing 2 back-to-back startups in the Silicon Valley. One we sold and one we took public. And then I came back to San Diego because I'm an alumnus of UCSD. I just went a long time ago here. But I came back to UCSD and then began mentoring startups. Originally 1 day a week, and then became part of one of the local incubators here. Ended up doing a reorganization of the incubator and had the idea to take what I was doing global and to begin helping other places around the world create programs like this to help people come together, start companies, to get companies financed. I also advise a lot of governments on the policy necessary to support what you guys do. So when people do try to start companies, government doesn't get in the way, and it makes it as easy as possible for them to do it. And my big insight at that time was I kept reading textbooks that academics were writing about startup companies, and they seemed to make it sound too simple. They just said if you have a really good idea, and then you find someone with money, then all of a sudden you can start a company, you can be insanely successful and retire rich. And we just weren't seeing that. It just wasn't that hard, simple or straightforward. And as someone who had both started companies, financed companies, and consulted at a larger, higher level on the policy to support companies, I knew that it was a much more complicated system to do. And what you guys are doing here in this room is exactly the right thing, which is entrepreneurship is a very social activity. It's also can be very, it's a body contact sport. You're gonna get a little bruised and bloody, getting in there and trying things, you're gonna fall down a lot, and you're gonna have to learn how to get back up. And the skills you learn by doing things like hackathons are really in some ways some of the more important skills. You can learn a lot of the more technical and fundamental skills in a lot of different places. You can read them in books and watch videos. You can come into classrooms and learn that. But what we try to teach you here at UCSD, or what we try and talk about, which go beyond that, are what we call behavioral fitness and cognitive athleticism. In the area of entrepreneurship, though, how many of you who came here today have any aspirations of possibly taking an idea, whether it's the one you worked on today or a different idea, and possibly trying your hand at being an entrepreneur? So a small number of you. Excellent. How many of you say, I'm probably not an entrepreneur, but I would still like to work in a pretty dynamic company? So I'm not going to start the next Google, but I certainly wouldn't mind working in a company like that. How many of you would consider that? Excellent. And how many of you might be looking for kind of something either more secure or traditional, work inside of an institution? So you may want to go into government, you may want to go into a nonprofit, you may want to go into a university type of setting. How many of you might want to do that? Excellent. Well, believe it or not, entrepreneurship is for all of those. It's for anyone, because entrepreneurship is not just the idea of starting a company. Entrepreneurship is an entire mindset. And everything you learn in entrepreneurship is applicable across everything you do in life. Negotiating with your friends on what movie you're going to see or what restaurant you're going to go to. It's about working with people or coming together with people who have very, very different ideas and perspectives on what you're going to do. Even when you don't agree on something, you can still find the tenacity to work through problems. It's an ability to see the world in a very different way, to use your imagination in ways you have not used before. I would argue to say that probably the most important skill that any entrepreneur needs to possess is not specifically a technical or business acumen. It's actually a good imagination and then the ability to be a storyteller to talk about that. So every one of you who raised your hand and said you want to be an entrepreneur to explore it, ultimately you guys are all going to become science fiction writers. But in the way that you're going to write something down or work on something that's about a future that doesn't yet exist, and somehow get us excited about it. And that's one of the roles that AI, things you're working on today, particularly pop culture, are going to play in the world. It's going to accelerate things to the point where our technical operating systems are going to exceed our own human operating systems, where our understanding of things will not possibly be able to keep up with the rate at which we can just invent things. And so in some ways, we have to be a lot more mindful and respectful of these tools and technology. We have to approach them in a way where we have to think differently and think in a lot more nonlinear ways, because we can't just think about what we're building and the step after that. We have to think a lot more like we're playing chess than we are checkers, because it's a very complex thing. We have to think of all the downstream consequences of what we're going to do, and that's going to require more mental agility, but also more of the behavioral fitness we also teach, because you also don't want to become overwhelmed every time things begin moving away from you. You have to learn how to deal with all that ambiguity and uncertainty. We're working with more of you, students like yourself who are working in the AI field. In fact, we had 2 students who had graduated HDSI, 2 PhD students who I worked with last year, who came to me with just one of their ideas for a company they wanted to start. They were able to kind of get enough financing together to put it together. They entered one of the big famous incubator programs in the Silicon Valley called Y Combinator, and within 24 hours of their graduation, they had their entire Series Seed completely filled. It was oversubscribed, and the investors who invested in it allowed them to raise a little bit more money on top of that at a 50% higher valuation for what they did, and that closed within 48 hours. So there is a lot of opportunity here in this room. There's a lot of opportunity in the markets you're trying to go for. Not everything you're going to do is going to be a standalone product on its own. Some of it will be embedded inside of other technologies. As Larry Ellison at Oracle said, you have to figure out early on whether it's a feature, a product, or a benefit of what you're going to do. But what we do at the Office of Innovation is there to support you across the entire spectrum of your journey. Like I said, even if you're not going to do it, come and play with us, come and listen to some of the lectures. We do, every month, we have a different lecture series on the first Thursday of every month in the afternoon from 4:30 to 6:30. It alternates between something we call Innovation at the Edge, which is where we talk about things that we don't have a full understanding of, and it's moving so fast that we need to kind of have these conversations to figure out what comes next. The other part of the series is called Meet the VC, where you can come to these conversations and meet investors who are investing in the various ideas that you guys are working on right now, and you can get inside of their head in terms of what is it that they invest in and why. And then on the other months, we do something called Evening with Entrepreneurs, where we bring successful entrepreneurs in to talk about their journey, not so you can learn from just their successes, but just as importantly, what you can learn from what they got wrong and how they dealt with it. So I encourage you to come and work with us. Like I said, you've already met Jacques at the basement, who runs our basement incubator, which is where ideas go to get launched. And there's a lot of workshops and seminars. You can go to innovation.ucsd.edu to find out all things across the campus that we're working on. And our doors are always open. We're available for office hours, for mentorship, for all of that. And if you do have an idea you want to do, we're happy to kind of sit down and talk with you about it. So with that, I won't take any more of your time because I'm sure everyone wants to get going and go home. So I'm not sure. So do I turn it back over to you? Okay. Thank you so much for kind of hanging out for 2 days. This has been a marathon for you to do that. It's a great practice skill, and practice-based learning is the most exciting thing I've done. In fact, what you're involved in here, these hackathons, I was involved. I'm old enough to be, that I was around when these first started, these hackathons first started, and I was part of the whole Startup Weekend movement, where we did these all around the world, and we did it in countries that had never explored entrepreneurship before, and I'm glad to see it thriving so much here at UCSD. So with that, I'll say thank you, and turn it over to you guys.
All right, thank you so much for that, Greg. That was amazing. All right, let's get to announcing the first prize. So best hack that didn't work. Drum roll, please. R squared ML, come on up.
And for the best hack that didn't work, the winning prize is a Wallace. Woo!
Want to come up, Datasaur? Okay, let's take a trade first. Congratulations and thank you so much for participating, guys.
And next, we will be announcing best presentation. Drum roll, please. Debug pop bungos, and they're Marvel themed. So on the pop culture theme still. Alright, let's welcome on Team Debug Nuts.
Now, Director of Student Entrepreneurship, Jock, is presenting the Innovation Launchpad Award. So Jock, come on up.
Thank you. Great. Well, it was amazing. I got to spend a little bit of time with some of you. I really want to congratulate everyone for the effort you put in this last 2 days. It's quite amazing what you can come up in such a short time. That really speaks to the technical knowledge, but also the creativity that you have. And like Greg said earlier, this is a perfect place to practice, make friends, and potentially create something that has never been done before. So I encourage you to do more of that moving forward, but very nice. Nice work. Oops. Slide. Okay, you're working on it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I have something. We have a little gift. You guys are far away, so the closer one will get it. The basement's been around for 10 years. We have this beautiful T-shirt that we made, and you can have one of them. So I'm going to throw it away, and I have someone else in the back that will do the same thing. So if you want to catch one, we have two more. I recommend you get closer. There's one. Alright. Okay, good job. So let me tell you a little bit about the basement. I won't be too long. I know it's been a pretty long process for the last 2 days. But we've been around for 10 years. So as Greg mentioned, we are in the Design Innovation Building, right next to the trolley stop on the first floor. The basement, really what it is a place where we incubate ideas, people, and companies. And when we say companies, it doesn't have to be only startups. We also will help anyone who's looking to become a freelancer or maybe have a side hustle. And we have resources that we can help you go through. So we've been around for 10 years. This year we have a lot of events. And I will really encourage you to come and attend some of these events. We have workshops. We have a founder fireside. And we have a big demo day that I'm going to talk about in a second. So it's really a place for all of you to come as students, to meet other students who are interested in the same thing. And we not only are incubating, people, ideas, and companies, we also do a number of project-based learning. We call it our I4X program, and I'm happy to tell you more later. So that's what we do, is we're a convenient place for people to learn about entrepreneurship. And as Greg mentioned earlier, is a skill set not only to start companies, which is amazing, and UCSD is a great example of the success that we're able to turn all this incredible knowledge on campus into the marketplace, but we also train the workforce of the future. We teach you skills that are amazing. Today, you did one of them, along with the technical skills that you applied, is storytelling, right? You have to come here and explain your idea. And being able to convey that idea is really important for everything in life. And I think you'll see this not only when you're starting your own company, if you decide to do this one day, but even if you're within a company, right? Being able to convey your idea forward is really helpful. So the basement is really a place where you can learn this, where you can make friends. We have open access hours. And the program itself is either we have an incubator program, or we have workshops, or we have other activities that are more social oriented. But I want to invite you personally to this event. This is a big event that we have every year. We have about 300 people show up. This is where 30 plus companies that we have currently in the basement will demo their ideas, their solutions. You'll get to have a chance to interact with them. And then we also have a big pitch competition, like today. They will be potentially winning up to almost $40,000 worth of prizes and in-kind donations. So you get to see what they're working on and potentially be inspired to join them. So this is going to be May 22nd at the basement, and I encourage you to come. There'll be a bunch of giveaways for 10th anniversary as well. And I'll end with this. If you're interested to learn about the basement or want to know more about some of our upcoming events, this is the best way to follow us, whether it's the website, Instagram, or LinkedIn. And I encourage you to come and check us out and come and meet other people. So let's move on to the Innovation Launchpad Award. And the winner is Sharaj Toomer. Great job.
Apparently they're in the bathroom. Networking genies.
He's coming. Congratulations. These are actual goodies from the basement. And then you have some for your teammates. Yeah, just two more. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Jock, and